Hey guys, welcome back to the Watches and Giggles channel. I'm Chris from Chicago. First off, as always, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning, guys, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate it. All right, everyone, in today's vid, we're going to be talking about the watch market, what I think is happening to the luxury watch market and why, and as well as showing off my collection a little bit because I've had some comments in the comment section wanting to know how my collection was or the state of the collection. So I'm not going to show you all my watches, but I have laid out before you a few of them. But before we get into all that, guys, we'll see what I'm wearing. And one watch that'll probably never leave is the Rolex GMT Master 2 BLNR, the Batgirl, Batman, Bruce Wayne, the Bruiser. Has a lot of nicknames. I think Batgirl's the one that really stick, but I like Bruce Wayne. But I've had this watch, my goodness, in August it'll be 3 years. I purchased it in 2019, was very lucky. I was on the waiting list at that time for the old one on the Oyster. Then it was discontinued, now it's brought back, but that carried over when that Oyster got discontinued in 2019, carried over to this one. Thankfully, they didn't give my Bruce Wayne or Batgirl to the next person. So lucky to have it, had it for 3 years, and I'd like to do a review on it soon, but just haven't had a lot of time, guys, in my life. It's been pretty busy with work and family life, so juggling YouTube and all that, it's been kind of chaotic, but I really do enjoy YouTube, so I'm happy to make this vid for you guys. All right, so the watch market, what's happening? Well, a lot of things. We all know that there is a correction. We're going to go over, it's not really an economic channel, but we're going to go over briefly just a little bit on basic 101 economics, why I think this is actually happening. A lot of it has to do with China being shut down. So no watches are going in there right now. The Ukraine and Russian war, it's all about supply and demand. So yeah, China is a big market and they're not purchasing watches right now. So that probably has some effect. Russia's not getting any watches, probably has a small, minute effect, but effect nonetheless. And yeah, it's creating possibly a little dip opportunity, as well as what is going on in the world right now with inflation and other things. So I'm just speaking for the United States. So last month in May, our inflation was 8.6%, which is the highest it's been in over 40 years. So that is definitely having an effect on the economy. Housing prices are raising year over year here in the States, 15 to 20%, which in my opinion is not sustainable. And now gas prices are out of control in the U.S. and as well as all over the economy. I know we're shipping some of our gas over to Europe to help you guys out over the pond. I mean, it is a nightmare with gas prices. Here in Chicago, a gallon of gas, regular gallon of gas that is over $6, and the United States average is over $5. This is all equating to people with less money, less liquidity to spend on luxury watches. So yes, I think that the economy is definitely playing a role, especially, drum roll please, the big reason is the stock market. For the United States stock market, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ are all down greatly. I think it is the fourth worst in history for us right now. Fourth time it's been down this much, and it's really bad. I think S&P, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ are down between 15 and 20% on the year so far. So that's not good. So people feel less rich, right? And if we get a housing crash, which we should get a housing correction soon, because again, just speaking for the United States, the Federal Reserve is meeting next week and will probably raise the basis points, which probably up to 50, which again, don't want to get too much, but basically what that means is it'll be more expensive for banks to borrow money from each other, which guess what? That rolls downhill, which will be passed to us, the consumer. Yay. So more expensive to buy a house, more expensive to buy a car, credit card debt will be more expensive, and so on. So basically it'll make people feel less rich, which would cause people to possibly sell their watch and or not be able to buy the watch when it comes in, or they were thinking about buying gray market, now they're not. So this is why prices have dropped a little bit. This is all in my opinion, guys, but we'll get into it a little bit. So the BLNR, the Batgirl, the Batman, I think it got to a high, speaking of this watch, maybe 23, 24. And I think now you could probably get one for 20, 21, maybe 22. So just a little bit of a correction there, not too much. my beautiful Bluesy, the 41 millimeter. Love this watch, guys. Absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Very pleased with it. I think it got to a high of maybe 24 or 25, and I think it's settling around 20 or 21 right now, which is not horrible. Then my newest acquisition, another Rolex Submariner, the 1240-60, the no date. Love this watch, guys. I think it reached to a high of 17 or 18 unworn at one point. I think it's down to around 14.5, maybe around 15 at the moment. So small correction. And that's another thing, guys. These are just small corrections, which is nice. And then my Rolex Explorer 214270 discontinued, I think is around maybe 10 or 11, which I think it got to a high of around 13. But, you know, guys, none of these are huge corrections. And, you know, if we do go segueing back or digressing back to economics a little bit, if the U.S. speaking does go into a minor recession, so that we had a negative first quarter GDP, I think July 28th is when we find out if we have a second quarter negative GDP. If that does turn out negative and we will be technically in a recession, honestly, a recession is when most money is made, most wealth is made if you have the capital to buy things. So there may be some buying opportunities, guys, if we do get a technical, again, just the United States recession come July 28th, if it's reported we've had a negative GDP again. Well, the watch market may dip a little more. It's a possibility. Again, these are all my opinions, guys, but do I think we're going to have a crash of 30, 40%? There's going to be fire sales? I don't. I think a lot of people, especially a lot of gray markets, have too much skin in the game. Maybe the smaller guys, the backpack guys, will be forced to sell some things for maybe 20% off. But I don't think we're going to see a hurricane, fire sale, anything like that with luxury watches. So I think you're pretty safe. But that's just my opinion, guys, on the luxury watch market. I just wanted to take a moment to share that with you. Obviously, go over some of my pieces that I own, that I love. So you could see these two beautiful Submariners. Very, very fortunate to be able to afford these watches, guys. And yeah, over the moon to have these four beauties in my collection. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Quick vid. Got to go out, spend some time with the family. It's Sunday today. I've been working a lot, so got a day off, got to enjoy it. But I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's healthy. Enjoy your watches, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.